Hey, what's up guys? It's Roy here. So today I want to give you a very quick top 10 video here. So top 10 reasons why I switched from the Sony A6400 that I've been using for over a year to the Sony ZV-E10, which I'm recording on right now. So let's jump right into it. So number 10 is having a headphone jack. So having a headphone jack is a nice addition, especially at this price point, being able to monitor your audio levels and have that feature available. Now my A6400 did not have that. This one does. Not a whole lot to talk about other than that it does have a headphone jack, so that's why it's number 10. Number 9 is that it has onboard microphones that are very passable. So at the end of the day, if you are in a pinch and you don't want to use a shotgun mic or have something mounted on top or podcast mic or something in a talking head video, you can use the microphones on board. It works. It does come with a dead cat that is installed through the hot shoe that covers over the microphone, very similar to the ZV-1. But like I said, the audio is very passable, but I would always recommend for better audio, get something from like Deity, like their shotgun mic or like this VO7U podcast mic, and just upgrade your audio. But like I said, in a pinch, the onboard microphones work just fine. So number 8 is the overall ergonomics and button layout of this camera. So it's smaller, it's lighter, it's more of a plastic build, which leans towards the reason why it's lighter. But at the end of the day, I do prefer a lighter camera, especially if you're out and about and just wanting to just do something quick and easy. This camera is just a little bit smaller, not much, but is a little bit smaller. The button layout is super, super simple, especially for beginners to YouTube or just beginners to whoever, if you're a content creator of some sort. I really, really love the button that you can just toggle between video, photos, and S&Q, which is slow motion. That's pretty cool. I really love the addition to the new big record button up top. That's a huge win over the tiny little awkward placement one that was on my Sony A6400. But overall, the button placement and just all of the lightness of this camera is a huge, huge win for sure. So number 7 is the fully articulating screen that you get with this camera. So I really, really like that it flips out to the side, especially if you're someone that does vlogging or talking head videos. But I really did like that my A6400 had a flip up screen, but it was annoying whenever you wanted to put a mic up top or use a field monitor. It just was always obstructed. Now with this flipped out to the side, it's pretty nice. And I do prefer how much flusher this is up against the side of the camera versus my Canon M50 that I had in the past, which if you are a Canon M50 user or have used a Canon M50, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where it feels like you had to push the screen a little bit closer to you sometimes to just make sure you were in the frame or shot the right way because it just wasn't completely flush. So a little quirky thing that I started noticing with the M50 when I was using it, and I noticed this one does not have it at all, which is really, really nice. I really like that it has the red box around the screen as well when I'm recording, so I know I'm recording and not accidentally thought I pushed the button and didn't. So really nice addition to the screen. But that articulating screen is just nice, gives you an extra point to hold if you're trying to do like a really nice stabilized footage. So overall, the fully articulating screen is a huge win in my opinion over the flip screen. So number 6 is the color science that the newer Sony cameras have over the 2019 model of my A6400. So with the newer cameras, it's a little more tuned and tweaked, trying to give you more of that Canon color science that people love. Now, I was always a fan of the Sony colors, but at the end of the day, when you compare them up against a Canon camera, there was just something to be said about that color science with Canon. Now, with the A6400, it did not have that, but with this one and some of the newer Sony cameras, it does have that nicer tweaked look where, for example, right now I'm just shooting in just standard, normal profile, nothing special, and it looks good, especially if you wanted to go run and gun and just didn't want to think twice about, is my video going to look good? Yes, it will. You can just even do intelligent auto if you wanted to, and it actually looks pretty dang good. So overall, the color science upgrade is definitely welcomed. But if you are someone that just really likes the color grade, it does have picture profiles like S-Log and all that. So rest assured, if you do like to stare at your computer for hours, you definitely have that capability. So number 5 is electronic stabilization. Now that's a huge win for this camera over the A6400, which had no IBIS, no electronic stabilization, nothing. The only thing that it had going for it was if you had a Sony native lens that had OSS, then it did help a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you're walking, it just was a shaky mess unless you had a gimbal. But with this one, it has standard and active, where active does punch in and crop a little bit. But I actually don't mind it because, especially for shots that maybe are a little bit further away from you, being able to punch in and still keep that detail, but then have that stabilization with the electronic stabilization in the camera, that's huge. I really liked it in the Canon M50, and I missed it when I switched to the A6400. So it's kind of getting that back is a huge win, especially for like slow motion videos and stuff like that, where just that little shake in your hand can really affect the look of that footage. So to be able to enable this and being able to not have to use a gimbal to just get some nice B-roll shots of products and stuff like that, definitely a big win. So number 4 is the feature that I really like, and it's their product showcase feature. So what that means is basically whenever you're using this feature, it's going to take off the kind of auto face detection and prioritize anything that you put in front of it. So just for example, right now I have auto face and eye tracking going on, but if I turn on the product showcase, actually I can't turn it on. I forgot. You cannot turn it on while you're recording. So I'm going to actually switch it over right now. Okay, so this is the look that you get with the product showcase feature turned on. I'm still in autofocus. It's just like I said, not doing the detection of my face or my eye. But if I put, like, for example, my phone up in front of it, it immediately recognizes that I have a product in front of it, and it's going to keep that in focus and not my face. If I switch it out, it goes back to autofocus, but then boom, I put it back up. So it's very quick. I really like this feature. So if you are someone that does unboxing videos or product showcase videos of some sort, and you want to show it to the camera, that's a really cool feature with this particular camera. So number 3 is the defocus mode that this camera has. And a lot of people said originally that it was kind of more gimmicky. I really like this because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what lens you're using. So right now I'm just recording this with the kit lens, and I have a little bit of a blurry background, not much, but I've been using the defocus mode this whole video, and I really, really like it because it just gives you that little touch of bokeh, even though I'm at an f3.5 on the lens. So if you had, like, say, for example, my Sigma 30 1.4, it's just going to intensify that bokeh that that camera can achieve, which obviously that camera lens can already achieve great bokeh, but being able to add this on top of it, it just gives you even more of a dreamy background. But like I said, it is a very nice feature since you are able to use it with multiple types of lenses. But at the end of the day, I think personally using the lower, f-stop, like at 1.4 or something, will achieve maybe a little bit better look. But sometimes, like I said, in a pinch, having that defocus mode with the kit lens or something like that is an awesome feature to give you a little bit more of a visual appealing look with your video. So number 2 is the quick autofocus that this camera has, but it's with the addition to having it set with video. So right now I'm in 4K shooting at 24 frames per second, but I have face and eye detection on, and in video mode in 4K with my A6400, I could not use this feature with the eye tracking. And on this camera, I can. So I can move my head around and I can see the little square on my eyeball right now. And then if I move like my hand in front of my face a little bit, then the square goes around my whole entire head. So at the end of the day, having eye tracking in 4K with this camera is huge. They do say that the autofocus is a little bit faster than the A6400. I haven't really noticed that, but I do notice that, like in this talking head video right now with my A6400 in 4K, it always wanted to put my microphone in focus and not my face. My face never had priority for some reason. But with this, it's tracking my eye and it looks perfect. And number 1 is just the overall price. It's $699 with just the body or $799 with the kit lens. So for all the features that you get with this camera, I think that's a huge win when it comes to this camera. I think it's just an easy camera to definitely recommend to someone who's starting out. Yes, I know $699 is still not cheap, but at the end of the day, comparing it to cameras that are double that price, that doesn't have all these features, is pretty dang cool to be able to say you got a camera for half the price and it competes with the big boys, especially since it's an E-mount camera. You can put all these great E-mount lenses. There's a slew of them out there and from other companies like Sigma. But then my bonus reason why I think this is great is that it does achieve autofocus with my eye and face in 4K when I have my field monitor plugged in. Now, everything I watched, and maybe I misread or misunderstood in the videos, is that it said it adopted all the issues that the A series cameras had when you did hook up a field monitor, because you usually did not get face detection or just autofocus on your face or anything when you had a field monitor hooked up. But I'm telling you right now, guys, I'm using my field monitor and I see on the screen my eye detection and face detection in 4K, 24 frames per second right now. I haven't tested if it does or changes at 30 frames per second, but by the time I post this, I'll put it down here if it does continue to track my face and eye in 4K 30, because I do know for sure it does it in 1080. But like I said, it's a nice added bonus if you are someone that likes to use a field monitor. I can tell you without a doubt, 4K 24 frames per second, it's working right now. I have it hooked up. I was really shocked because when I switched over, I was expecting to kind of have to do like the touch to focus on my face. And nope, it's tracking my face right now and it works perfectly. So there you have it, guys. There's my top 10 reasons, or technically 11 reasons why you should buy this camera. I think it's a huge win for someone that's looking for their first camera, or someone to use for B-roll, or for someone that's wanting to use it for just upgrading like I did for my A6400. I think there's a lot of great features with this camera that's worth the upgrade. But you let me know down in the comments what you think. So hit that like button if you liked the video. If you loved it, please subscribe, ring that notification bell for up-to-date content. Be safe, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.